Hey everybody, we're back again. I know I was so uptight last episode. I was in tears, and I actually am a bit in tears right now. It just I don't know. I don't know how to tell Sayori the news, you know? I do love her, and I always wanted to be my dearest friend, but I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know. I think it's important that I say that she's my dearest friend, because she needs a friend more than anything, you know? If I was just some generic lover, you know, we could probably break up and then she'd probably want to kill herself, but, you know, as a friend, no, I will always be there for her. Always. Forever and ever and ever. You got that, Sayori? I will always be there for you. You got it, girl. You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back the way they were. I see. Sayori forces a smile through an incredibly pained expression. Ah ha ha ha. Is this what it feels like? To get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. Sayori? It's okay. This is just my punishment, remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I knew this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here. Just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing. You're also right that I just want to go back to the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know better than anyone, Zenhorse. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. Even Smudge, I hope. So... Sayori's smile finally breaks. All of a sudden, she turns around and drops to her knees. Oh god, I'm going to start crying again. Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left haplessly standing in the front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. Yeah, if I told her I loved her, you know, she likely would have done the same thing too, you know? Because even though I might love her, you know, she, you know, is convinced, you know, she won't be loved the same way back, and it's a horrible thing, you know? Even when you love someone, they just don't love you enough. Even if they do love you more than you'll ever know. It's a horrible thing, I know. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, and keep wondering if I should be doing something more, or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back the way they were. I'm going to have to give it everything I got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend. And I'll do whatever it takes to put on a smile on her face every day. Like me and Smudge, you know, I'm the Smudge every day, and I'll do anything to put a smile on her face. Even though she does everything to put a frown on my face. I better save. I do not want to have to repeat that emotional trauma ever again. I know you guys are probably crying right now. I get your feelings, man. I get your feelings. I want to be your dearest friend too. I want to be there every day for you guys, but I can't, you know? This world is just too cruel. Okay, let's get back to the game. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I consider going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much, definitely. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take it with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Monica's got everything under control. Hey, there she is. Zenhorse, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica's placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like, and submitted it. Random poem, huh? I wonder what could have been. Maybe I actually ghost read it and, brainwashed myself to forget its mind so I won't be, containing my tears when they totally scrape it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think on days this important, she tried a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. Yes, I need to watch myself. I'm sorry, guys. My mind is just all over the place right now. And I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it is because of the way I'm used to thinking. Yes, I'm used to thinking all these horrible, benign thoughts that totally destroy everything. Don't be like me, guys. Do not be like me. It is not worth it. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. Ha 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 ha. You should take a little responsibility for her, Zen Horse. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. That is a bit condescending, if I must admit, It's coming off the real wrong, even though I know she means the best. You kind of left her hanging this morning, Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. So she studies our secrets, she probably watches us while we sleep, Even Santa Claus is afraid to put her on her naughty list because she may come and totally screw up the whole place. But, I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so... Don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a little chill down my spine after hearing that. Oh yeah, she knows way more. She knows the meaning of life. She knows where Anne Frank is hiding. She sees us when we're sleeping. She knows when we're awake. She knows if we're late to the club, so better be on time or she'll stab you. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this would definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. It's the one that she wrote down after I told her my feelings. Get out of my head, 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 get out of my head. Get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Hey, that's true. I can only wonder who she wrote that for. Ah, what is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Zen Horse? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... Well, all right. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. How far away the school to the from my house to the school is, I wonder. Usually in Tokyo they gotta take trains, so it'd probably be like 2 hours. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal, at least we can wait for her, or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer, since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I open the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. If only I was a heavy sleeper, my problems would be a lot better, you know? I could just fall asleep and wake up, not have to worry about loud noises or yelling. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? Or a home intruder, which I guess that makes me now. In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter a room like this. Isn't it kinda a breach of privacy? Totally. But she really leaves me no choice. I say get the police, or I throw a rock through the window, or do some other third stuff, but I don't want to do that. No, I think this is probably the more civil way. I gently open the door. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God. Sayori? Sayori? An exception has occurred. See trackback text for details. What's going on here? Yeah, the creepy stuff is really happening now. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe my eyes are showing me. No, I can't. I can't, guys. I think I'm still dreaming. You know, last night I literally had a dream about Freddy Krueger, and I think he's still controlling this. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best, and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession? That has to be what pushed her over the edge. But I have a feeling if I said yes, she still would have done it. She was so distraught, you know? She wouldn't have loved me the same way back, and I would have loved her the same way back, you know? No matter how much we loved each other. That's how it is. Love never does what you want it to do. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of our relationship, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I only had one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. I can always load up a save though, you know? Nothing in my life is worth more than hers, but I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 I'm starting to get crying again, guys. It reminds me of my mother's friend who died. Her best friend she grew up with, drank herself to death, and my mother still hasn't recovered. What is this? Okay then, she's gone. Sayori's gone, and now we got Monica in her place, and looks like Natsuki's mixed up here as well. What is this? I wonder, can I even load the previous game? I have a feeling it might do something. Let me press this. What is going on? Oh god, Freddy, what did you do? What did you do, Freddy? I better... Oh my lordy. Look at that, all my saved games are gone. Look at that. Let me go back. I'm gonna go back and see Would you look at this? It's still the same. All my previous files were deleted. This is creepy. This is creepy at all. This is creepy. Yeah, feeling if you went back in time, we still would have gotten the same ending. It never ends well. I'm sorry, Sayori. You were just doomed from the start. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. The girl is Zotac plus 34CLSCL, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. So, Sayori is gone now, so it's somebody else. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Zoe Tack catch up to me. What's going on? Who are you? What is this? It's an ordinary school day like any other. Something's wrong here. Maybe this is a nightmare, or some sort of virtual reality. Maybe I'm really in hell. Maybe I've been dead since the start of the game. I got hit by a car on the way to school. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friends group walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. No, I haven't. I walked with Sayori. What's going on here? We're in the Twilight Zone now. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Pretty sure there would be. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Zen Horse? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, mysterious, knowing all of her business. Maybe she's the one behind all this, you know, erasing the history. Maybe she's the mastermind behind it all. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me feels so generally feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? Aha, about that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. She didn't want people to debate with her. It had to be her way or the highway. By that I mean death. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. Stupid fly. Did Monica send this fly here to annoy me? I think she did. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Why did the screen shake? Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? I hope it's none. It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. That would be her, then there would be Natsuki, and then Yuri. And Sayori definitely is not in that club because she no longer exists. She had been vaporized. Big brother got her. Or big mother like Monica. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Zen Horse. by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? No. I mean, I guess so, but in that case, what's happening? I would never say that. They're putting words in my mouth. Is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could, at the very least, visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome! You're really sweet, Zenhorse, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go, then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. So bad, please. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Does this mean I'm second year? Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Whoa! What happened? You see those eyes? Oh, God. She was staring into my soul. I'm back. And I brought a guest with me. Girl 1. I'm guessing her name's not Yuri anymore? A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? And that's not Suki anymore either. They're imposters. Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. No, this is not the Natsuki we knew. And it's not the Yuri. But that might just be the real Monica. Oh. But anyway, welcome to the club, Zenhorse. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki? The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. I don't recognize any of them. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Zenhorse in a classroom, and you decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica. Didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. No tea for me, please. Why don't you come sit down, Zenhorse? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here. But we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea seat. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. I don't think they did. In fact, I don't think the teachers are here anymore. I think they're dead and buried and devoured and eaten. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Not anymore. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not. Well, I definitely am impressed, Yuri. I am. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading may not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Not this one. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Zenhorse, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, there's child porn, scat porn, decapitation porn, yeah, stuff that's totally illegal. And if I were to give it to you right now, the police would come and take us all away. So, yeah, ha, 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 ha. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Oh, I've read plenty, but I don't like talking about all the hardcore stuff, I don't want to, cause trouble, right? Manga, I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Maybe we're in a fantasy world right now. A one that's filled with evil spirits that are controlling the narrative. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Wait, what if we are actually in a novel ourselves? Like a novel that the literature club reads, and the only way to escape is to write our own ending before they can kill us off. Like in Goosebumps. The movie, it had to be real in order for it to become real. It had to be true. Oh god. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way in her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? This is foreshadowing right now. The writer of this place has thrown me into a loop. I don't know what's going on. And I don't have imagination because this is just too dark for me. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Oh boy. And I read a horror book once, and it was nowhere near as frightening as this. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I think she should have a conversation with a rock, instead of me. A rock won't have nightmares! Ha 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 ha. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud. Is it Sayori's last breath? I think it is. I think she wrote Sayori's death. And give that back. Fine. I have to know what that poem is. It's the only way to get out of here. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. Maybe if I can get her to share it, I can find out how to get out of here. You wouldn't like them. Of course I would. Not a very competent writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Oh yeah, they all have no heart. They're all evil inside. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? What? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. but she hasn't asked me to join the club. Sayori did the last time, but now it's not. But now she's automatically throwing me into the club against my will. Ugh. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I decided to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Zenhorse? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Hopefully this time I won't have to. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. They're not gonna let me leave without joining. I can see it right now. They're gonna tear me to bits if I don't show up. But I'm sorry, I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Zenhorse. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one before the festival... I'm defenseless against these girls. Yeah, if only that Rock was there, he could join the club. The Rock would do much better than me. Where are you, Rock? How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. God rest ye merry gentlemen, you'll never see the end of this. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Zenhorse? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Oh, definitely. Zenhorse, I'm so happy. We can be an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting, so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Zenhorse, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I don't know. Sayori's writing Sayori's writing got her killed. Maybe I was too good, that's why. If I am actually mediocre, they might spare me. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I'll guess I'll be on my way then. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Oh god. Oh god. Who lives next door to me then? You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? I don't know. Should I? Does it involve Sayori? A dream. I was staying over at my friend's place. There were 4 of us. I drifted off to sleep while everyone was talking and watching TV. In my dream, I was still at my friend's house. The only difference was that there were nails sticking out of the walls everywhere. And there was also someone I didn't recognize. The person I didn't recognize told a joke, and everyone laughed. I woke up to the sound of everyone laughing at something that happened on the TV. So the laughing was not part of the dream, it was the noise that woke me up. I wonder who that person was, and how they knew to tell a joke at that moment. But what was the joke? What was it? Okay, I'm going to end it here. This is getting freaky. Look at that. Yep. Even my previous save beforehand is gone. I have a feeling if I save now, it will be deleted, and I'll have to start the whole game over again. But this time it will be even more. Maybe I'll be all alone. There won't be any girls. There won't be any Linger Club. It'll just be me in hell forever. Forever! Well, guys, I'll see you later, guys. I hope you make it out alive, and I hope Monica doesn't come watch you guys while she's doing her you-know-what. And may God bless you, merry gentlemen. You guys need it. See you all later.